Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the heart of Africa, there lived a humble farmer named Temba. He was known throughout the village for his kindness and generosity. He worked the land with his hands, growing crops, and raising cattle. Though he had little by way of wealth, Temba was always ready to lend a hand to those in need. One day, during the planting season, a neighbor named Kofi, who was known for his laziness and greed, came to Temba in desperation. "Kofi, Temba, I have no seeds to plant, and my family is starving. If I don't plant, we will have nothing to eat come harvest time. Please, help me. I know you have more than enough, and I am struggling." Temba, being the compassionate man he was, didn't hesitate. He invited Kofi into his home and gave him a sack of the finest seeds, along with tools to till his land. "Temba, Kofi, take these. Plant them with care, and may the rains bless your fields. We are all neighbors in this village, and what is mine is yours." Kofi, though grateful on the surface, was already thinking about his own desires. He smiled and took the seeds, promising to work hard. But in his heart, he made a plan to take advantage of Temba's kindness. Over the weeks that followed, Temba continued to help Kofi, often offering his labor to assist in tilling Kofi's land. When the rains fell, Kofi's crops grew strong and healthy, and Temba worked even harder to ensure that his friends' fields flourished. Kofi, however, did the bare minimum, spending more time resting under the shade of trees than working in his own fields. As the harvest season approached, Kofi's fields were brimming with crops, while Temba's own fields showed the wear of tireless effort but still lacked the abundance of Kofi's. One evening, as Temba walked to Kofi's house to see how the harvest was coming, he overheard Kofi speaking to his wife. "Kofi, I'll sell all the crops and keep the profits. Temba is foolish to give me so much. I'll make sure he gets nothing from this land. After all, why should I share with him when I did all the work?" Temba stood frozen, his heart heavy with hurt. All the hours of work, the generosity he had shown, and Kofi's promises were lies. Kofi had been using his kindness, taking advantage of Temba's goodwill without any intention to repay the favor. The next day, Temba went to Kofi's house to confront him. "Temba, Kofi, I heard what you said yesterday. You have taken advantage of my generosity, and now you plan to turn against me. Do you not remember the promise you made when I helped you? I gave you what I had because I believed in community, in friendship. But I see now that you never intended to honor that." Kofi, with a smug smile, dismissed Temba's words. "Kofi, what promise? I never asked for your help. You gave it because you are weak. Now, you are angry because I will take what's mine. You should have known better than to trust someone like me." Temba stood there for a long moment, feeling the sting of betrayal. But then he spoke, his voice calm but firm. "Temba, I may have helped you, Kofi, but I realize now that some people take kindness for granted. You are free to take what you want, but know this, your wealth will bring you no peace. A man who is ungrateful for the kindness of others is a man who is poor in spirit, no matter how much he possesses." And with that, Temba turned and walked away, his heart heavy but his dignity intact. The seasons changed, and the village flourished. But Kofi's wealth did not bring him happiness. The more he hoarded, the more he found that people began to avoid him. They saw how he treated Temba, how he repaid kindness with cruelty, and they learned to keep their distance. Meanwhile, Temba continued to live humbly, and although his crops were not as plentiful as Kofi's, his heart was light. He knew that his generosity, though unreturned, had made the village a better place, and that kindness was a gift that could never be stolen.